guys, I'm Jimmy Roos. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, welcome. And if you like my content, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and turn on the bell notification so I can notify you whenever I post new content. In today's video, I will be giving you the easiest and most low-risk way to approach beautiful women and set up dates with them and get their numbers and date them. So this is called the interview method. And this method works best if you have a camera or a mic. And the reason it works so well when you have a camera or a mic is because when women see you, whether you have a wireless mic or you have a handheld microphone or you have a camera, their eyes are automatically drawn to you, whether they are wherever they are. If they are in close proximity and they see you, their eyes will be drawn to you. And this makes it easy for you to start conversations with them. So what you would do is you would go on a beach, in a mall, or even in a street, or at an event where there are lots of women, and you would just walk around. And like I said, if you have a camera or a mic, many of these women, their eyes will be drawn towards you. So what you would do is either just smile, or you would wave at them, or you would motion them. First, maybe just smile, and then when they look at you and they smile back, you can motion them to come closer. But even if you don't have a mic or a camera, this method could still work. It just depends on your conversation skills. So you could have a notepad, or you could use a phone to take notes. So like I said, you would just walk around, and if you see women that looks interesting, you would smile at them and wave at them or motion them. And then when they reciprocate and they stop or they come closer, so you would say, "Hey, I'm Jimmy. What's your name?" Or you would say, ask her what's her name. And then when she tells you her name is, for example, Sharon, you would then extend your hand and say, "Hey, I'm Jimmy." And then you would greet her. And then after you've introduced yourself, then you would tell her, "I am interviewing fairly to very attractive women about their dating experiences. And you fall into that category." So you are telling her that you are interviewing women who are fairly to very attractive, which is a broad range. And she falls in that category somewhere there. And then you would ask her whether she's single or whether she's in a relationship. If she says she's in a relationship, then you basically will just ask her a couple of questions, not much. How long she's been in a relationship. If she says she's been in a relationship for 5 years, then you would just ask, "Are you happily married? Are you happy in this relationship?" If she says yes, then you would wave her goodbye and that's it. But if she says maybe she's been in a relationship for 6 months, or she's been married for 6 months, then you would ask her, how has dating been for her before she got into this relationship? And then you would also let her go, because you are basically looking for single women, single and good-looking women. Because this is not just an interview, this is actually an approach, but you are using the interview method to get close to them. So once they tell you that they are single, you would tell them that there's been a lot of articles and research done lately, and the spotlight has been put on men who are lonely, who are not dating, and who are not having sex. And then you would ask her whether she's aware of it. If she says yes, you could ask her, what does she think of it? If she says no, then you could say, yeah, that's the situation. And then you could ask her whether she gets approached a lot or not that much. If she says she doesn't get approached a lot, you could then ask her, why does she think that is the case? And whether she would like men to approach her more. If she says she gets approached a lot, then you could ask her to rate the approaches. For example, what are the worst approaches that she's experienced, that she had to deal with? And then when she tells you, you could ask her, how did that make her feel when guys approach her that way? And if you are struggling with approaching women, some of those approaches may have been your approaches, the way that you approach women. And that'll give you an insight into why you got rejected. It was not because they didn't like you as a person, it was because of the way that you approach them. Then you could ask her afterwards, after you ask them about the worst approaches, you could ask them about, could she rate the best approaches? What did she like about those approaches? And then she would tell you, and then you could also ask her, how would she like to be approached? So then after you've asked her about the approaches and she told you the best way that she has been approached and how she would like to be approached, then you can ask her, so what do you think about my approach? Now, I'm pretty sure that she would not have thought of your approach as an approach, because technically it wasn't. You approached her to do an interview, not really because you were interested in dating her. But you actually were, but she didn't know that. But at that moment, when you ask her, what do you think of my approach? She would think, oh, okay, so this was actually an approach. And I'm pretty sure she's going to give you high marks. Because women like to be approached in subtle ways, where they are not even aware that they are being approached until after they actually realize that they like this guy. So women like that kind of thing, and because of that, I'm pretty sure she's going to give you high marks. So now that she knows that you approached her, it's no longer an interview, because she now knows this was just a ruse. It wasn't really about the interview, this was just a way to get in. So then you would ask her a little bit about, so tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, she would tell you a little bit about herself, where she's from, what she does. And then if she doesn't ask you in turn about yourself, you would then volunteer and tell her about you. And after that, you would say, and I can tell that we have a good vibe going here. Or I can tell we have a connection. So tell me, when are you free? And then let her tell you, give her a day that she's free. And then when whether it's a Monday or Tuesday or whatever the day is, then tell her, hey, I know this cool coffee place. And then you can tell her where the place is. Have you been there? If she says no, you can tell her about the place. You can say it's a nice place, it is this. And then if she says yes, then of course she knows the place. Or you could ask her, what do you think of it? Yeah, it's a nice place. And then you could say, now this was a business meeting, so I would like to take you out for coffee to that place. And the good thing about this place is that it's a low-key place. So if we don't like each other, we could quickly and easily separate without anybody seeing that we had a failed date. And I mean, you say this in jest, so she can see you are not serious. And the good thing about this, telling her this, is that she can see that you are not emotionally invested or attached to her or to the idea of going on a date with her. That's the problem that many guys have, in that women don't want to agree to a date because they want to avoid that possible awkward moments. And say if they sense, you know, that you may be too attached to them or too emotionally invested in them already at that early stage. So by letting them know that you are not emotionally invested in them or the idea of being with them will make it easier for them to agree to a date. When she says she's free at a certain day, okay, I'll see you 7 o'clock on this day, and then you shake her hand and you say, deal. And then you take out your phone and you hand it to her and you say, put in your number so we can coordinate on the date. And then you hand her your phone and let her put in her details. You don't ask her, so can I get your phone number? You just hand her your phone and she'll put in the digits. And then you say, so give me a hug, and then you already go with your hand, you know, because you've already agreed for a date. You just do that, and then in a slow motion, and then she will lean in to give you a hug. And this is good, you know, to have that physical contact, not just by shaking your hands, but also having that close proximity, so that on the date, when you are eventually on the date, it's not going to be a problem for you to escalate physically, because you have already started to touch, not just with your hands, but also with your shoulders. And yeah, so that's it. That's how you approach and set up a date with a beautiful girl in a way that is easy and low risk. So if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so that I can notify you whenever I post new videos. Hey guys, so if you've been struggling with women and dating year after year and nothing is getting better, then listen up. I can help you go from zero success with women to confidently approaching and dating gorgeous women within the next 6 to 12 months. Just visit the link that you see on the screen and book a free 25-minute chat, and I will show you how I can help you change your life. So that's it for today. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.